What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to save some money in 2020 and also decrease your expenses. I know some of these might sound a little bit weird, but I promise you at the end of the day you'll see the expenses decrease and you'll see your bank account increase. I know we're all going through a very difficult time, and due to the challenges that this illness has brought to us, I think this is the best time for us to think about our financial future and make sure that we're stable for the next couple of months, and also to set like a ground for the upcoming years. I mean, take a look at these figures. Forbes just released an article that showed that almost 14% of Americans are unemployed, but they saw that there was an error of some kind on that report, where now they believe that it's closer to 20% of unemployment in the United States. That makes me think like, okay, this is the time where we need to tighten up and make sure that we have covered all of our finances and all that stuff. So that's why today I'm bringing you the top 5 ways for you to save money, reduce expenses, and I'm also going to be throwing in a little bit of like some apps that I use that I think are very useful in budgeting, and also making sure that some money goes into like your emergency fund account and all that stuff, so that you are always secure and you know that for the next 3 to 6 months, God forbid something happens, you're set and you're good to go. So the first thing on the list is reducing your spending. You obviously want to make sure that you're not spending as much as you were prior to this illness and all of the quarantine. What I would suggest is getting an app like Truebill or You Need a Budget. You can also create a budget in these apps, which will help you in order to track your spending. And once you see that you're spending too much on like things that you don't need, you'll automatically understand that, okay, these are some things that I need to cut out in order to save some money and build up my emergency fund. So when I talk about an emergency fund, what I mean is for you to have a like side bank account or a savings account where it's not super accessible for you to just get this money. And what I mean by not having it super accessible is just like having it on your debit card and just swiping and it's gone. What I mean is for you to put it in a high interest savings account like Ally Bank. Ally Bank is one of the banks that I personally use that gives you about 1.5% annually, and compared to every other bank out there, that's like 50 times more, if not more than that. So if you have, like $15,000 in this account and it's accruing interest annually because you're not touching it because that's just your emergency fund, that's what I mean. That fund right there that is accessible whenever you need it or you have an emergency, that's what I mean. This is a bonus tip I have for you, and this one would have to be with downloading the app called Digit. What Digit does is, depending on your settings, it would extract a certain amount of money. There's a little boost icon there that you can click. It's like a little lightning bolt. When you click this icon, it boosts the amount of money that it wants to take out from your account. So if you set it at 5, it can go all the way to like $30. Like we've gotten like $150 taken out once. The good thing about Digit is that the money they take out is like so small and so insignificant that you don't even notice it. And all of a sudden you open up that app and you're like, wait, what? I have $1,000 in here somehow? That's what makes Digit such a great savings app. Tip number 4 would be to reduce the amount of money that you're spending outside when it comes to just ordering food or anything of that sort that you're doing right now. During quarantine, what I would definitely suggest is cooking at home. Honestly, that will save you so much money monthly. It's just insane. Now, for all of you big coffee drinkers, I know you love your coffee, and I know how much you might love going to Dunkin' Donuts or Wow or Starbucks. But let me do this math for you really quick. So the average cup of coffee costs about $2.70 per cup. That obviously ranges. If you go to Starbucks, it's going to cost you way more. If you go to Dunkin' Donuts, it's going to cost you a lot less. But using the average, so at $2.70, and let's say you drink coffee every day of the year, that equals to $985 annually. You might think, hey, Jose, you know what? That's nothing. Like, whatever, that's chump change. But now, using compound interest, that $1,000 over 15 years comes up to be $26,700 approximately. So just giving that small little bit, that $2.70 daily that you're spending, whether it's at Dunkin' Donuts or wherever it is, that money in 15 years could be a down payment for a townhome, for an investment property, or something else. So now that you've saved up all your money, you have your emergency fund, you have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses that you can reach out to this emergency fund, and now you have a little bit left over, right? My last recommendation for you would be to take this extra money that you have and invest it in the stock market. So the stock market has had average growth of about 6% annually over the last 20 years, which means that your money will eventually grow if you put it into the stock market. Please make sure that you're making wise decisions when investing into these companies, because you also want to make sure that these companies are profitable in the next upcoming years. Now remember, please take this with a grain of salt. The market right now is super volatile. It's moving up and down. No one knows exactly what's gonna happen. Make sure that you make all investment decisions wisely. I just urge you to make sure that you take your time to read into these companies and make sure that they're gonna be here in the long term. Remember, I'm just some dude in the internet just trying to give you some advice. If you made it to this part of the video, please make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, leave me any comments. I reply to all the comments that are left on the videos. If you have any questions on the apps that I told you about, make sure you leave them down below and I'll make sure I'll get back to you. And that's it for this video. Make sure you comment down below what banks you're using to get the most out of your money.